Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and you can see where we're at. We're at the Ford Center in Frisco. If you guys don't know what the Ford Center in Frisco is, it's the home of the boom Dallas Cowboys. So shout out to the Dallas Cowboys. We're here at the Ford Center in Frisco, Texas. It's been my first time being in Frisco, Texas in 6 years. Can you believe it? It's been since 2014 since we were last in Frisco, Texas covering basketball. But while we're here in front of the Dallas Cowboys practice facility, as always, I don't give a damn where we're at, whether we're in Frisco or Birmingham, England. We represent South Florida. We represent the Marlins. Shout out to the Marlins. We got the Marlins cap on. But let's talk about this fight card we got this weekend. We got a lot of interesting things going on this weekend here in Dallas, or Frisco, I should say, which is basically Dallas. Mikey Garcia versus Jessie Vargas is the main event. So we'll start with that. I'll be honest with you guys, it's not a fight that I care about too much because I don't think either one of them is going to win a world title or sniff a world title at 147. But it is important because the WBC Diamond Belt is on the line, which basically means that whoever wins that fight is going to potentially have a title shot against Errol Spence whenever he gets right again. So, it does have implications for the welterweight division. I think it's a good test for Mikey Garcia because Vargas is one of those guys who's a solid guy. He's durable. He's got good skills. He's been in championship fights. In my opinion, he's actually overachieved in boxing. But he doesn't really have one skill that you could pick out and say, well, he does this great. But he does a lot of things, good, but nothing really great. A man of many things, but a true master of nothing. So you got that as the main event. I'm thinking Mikey Garcia is going to go in there and, this will probably be his only win, or his best win at welterweight. I don't think he's going to beat any of the top guys at welterweight. So that's the main event. It's big for the division. I'm leaning towards Garcia because I think Garcia. I'm not sure if Garcia will be able to hurt him, which I think he'll need to hurt him. He'll need to at least get his respect because if he doesn't, I think Vargas will be able to land the right hand, which is very big for him. So, I'm gonna go with Garcia to win by decision, unanimous decision. Something along the lines of 8-4, something like that. Maybe he gets dropped, and it's a close fight. And then maybe it's like majority decision, but I'm gonna go with Mikey Garcia by decision. So it's a really good main event. Then we have, obviously, it's been talked about many times on my channel, but we're talking about it again because look where we're at. Look where we're at, guys. We're at the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. Roman Gonzalez is fighting Cal Yafai. It's a huge fight for the super flyweight division. Cal Yafai has been waiting a long time for his chance to prove that he is one of the boxing's elite super flyweights because he hasn't really gotten a fight against one of the top guys. But now he's fighting Gonzalez, a future Hall of Famer, an all-time great in the sport, a living legend, and it's his chance to really announce himself and put the stamp on his career. Look at this, guys. Hold on. Look at that. It's like models like a football field. Look at the cowboy helmet there. It's crazy stuff. I can't believe I'm here. But now Chocolatito is going to be hungry for this fight. I think that fight comes down to who can back up who for a longer period of time. If Cal Yafai can hurt Roman Gonzalez and back him up, he can win the fight. But that's a lot easier said than done because of all the fighters he's fought, only one fighter has managed to do that, and that's Rungvisai. So Cal Yafai will have his hands full fighting a very motivated, game Roman Gonzalez. So that's to me that's like a 65-35, 60-40 fight in favor of Chocolatito. In my opinion, even though I know the bookies have him as an underdog, so look, if you're looking to put some money on a fight, this would be a good one to put some money on, Gonzalez versus Cal Yafai. But I'm going with him to win via a stoppage in the middle rounds. That's probably like the most for me. I think that's a safe bet because I just can't see a fight. I can't see a scenario where Cal Yafai backs him up and hurts him to the point where Roman Gonzalez is going to stop coming or where he's going to really just fold up. Unless he's really just so past it that he can't compete with the Cal Yafai. You see what I'm saying? So, that to me, that's the true main event of the card. Then you got another fight which I think is very interesting because I was just reading up about it at the airport, and you got the battle for the WBC flyweight title, at 112, which was a belt that was previously held by Charlie Edwards, who just moved up to 115, and he's fighting Jay Harris. And Jay Harris is in America he's not very well known. I didn't really know much about him until recently. But I was reading about Jay Harris and his journey. Just an interesting journey. This guy Jay Harris wanted to quit boxing about a year and a half ago. He works a regular job at Amazon. Um, apparently when he got the call for the fight, Jay Harris was at Disneyland. So now he has a chance to go from Disneyland to the world title. So he's gonna have his hands full. He's fighting a very tough, rugged Mexican, Julio Cesar Martinez, who many of us know was moments away from completely folding up Charlie Edwards, but he kind of hit him when he was down, and I believe he got disqualified. So this is his chance to redeem that blemish on his record, become world champion, and establish himself as one of the new guys in the division. So that to me, that's probably one of the more underrated fights, because Harris isn't a bad fighter. Harris has held the European title. He's been common world champion at the division. So now this is his chance to announce himself on the world level. And then you got Joseph Parker on the card. He's it's a tune-up fight for him, but it's good to see him active. We want to see Parker in the big heavyweight fights again, because he's kind of been the forgotten man. He had a lot of hype when he was a prospect, but he's been a forgotten man since the loss of Joshua. So this should be another takeover fight for him. But it's good to just see him active, and hopefully, who knows, maybe Joseph Parker winds up getting a Deontay Wilder fight, because they should have unified. They should have unified when they both had belts. But everything happens for a reason. But good to see him. He's fighting an overmatched opponent, so I don't really make much of that fight. You got other prospects that are really exciting and stay busy fights. The fights aren't expected to be competitive fights. You got Alexis Espino, who didn't have the most amateur experience, but he's growing really well in the pro ranks, and I just see a lot of room for growth with Espino. I think he's going to go places in his career as long as he keeps dedicating himself to the sport. He's probably, like, of all the young up-and-coming fighters, he's like the one guy that we hear about and we see, but I don't think he gets talked about enough. I don't think I talk about him enough, because I really think with his seek and destroy style and him learning the more nuanced skills of boxing, he's gonna be somebody that we'll have to pay attention to. So look out for him on the undercard. He'll probably get a sensational win. And then you got Diego Pacheco, who is also in a stay busy fight, and he's probably gonna win that in exceptional fashion. So good prospects. This card has everything. It has good prospects. It's got a living legend like Roman Gonzalez fighting the young upstart in Cal Yafai for the world title at super flyweight. You got two world title fights on this card. You got a WBC, basically a WBC eliminator, basically for the diamond belt, which is basically a chance to become the mandatory to Earl Spence. You got the Cowboys. Look what the Cowboys practice facility. So it's just wild. So we're gonna be here on True School Sports. The press, I think the press conference. The press conference is in a couple hours at the Omni Hotel right behind me. So that behind me is a hotel. That's the Omni Hotel. It's gonna be in there. So just stay tuned. Make sure you guys keep supporting the channel. Keep doing all that good stuff, because without you guys, look, I would have never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be here in Frisco at the Ford Center covering a boxing match with Roman Gonzalez, which is pretty crazy, because this venue that we're at, guys, just a quick story. This venue that we're at, when I used to live in Dallas in 2014, and when I lived here, this was all just dirt. So to actually see this is pretty mad and surreal. So, I just thank everybody here for the support. Stay tuned for the interviews, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. I'm just kidding, Daniel. Hold on. Before we end the video, I gotta hit him with the Terrell Owens. You guys remember when Terrell Owens went up to the middle of the star? You guys remember back in, like, for my NFL fans out there, you remember back when Terrell Owens went to the middle of the star at the Cowboys Stadium, and he went crazy? Look, let's go to the middle of the star. We'll end the video like this. Look, hit him with the Terrell Owens. So look. We're in the middle of the star. See that? We're in the middle of the star, at the star, with a star. It's your boy BT. And hope you guys doing all right. And just get from Dania. Take care.